"Sir, this table is for paying customers. I'm going to have to ask you to leave." The words sliced through the gentle hum of clinking silverware and low conversation, turning heads as if someone had shattered a glass. At the center of it all stood an old man, hunched by the weight of years, confusion flickering across his weathered face. His jacket, once military-issued, now hung like a memory, threadbare, faded, and 2 sizes too big. In his gnarled hands, he clutched a photo, its edges curled, the faces nearly faded. He didn't speak. He didn't argue. Just nodded, barely perceptible, and began to rise slowly from the booth he'd quietly slipped into an hour earlier. "I'm sorry, sir," the waitress said, visibly uncomfortable, her voice softening. "It's just that you've been here a while and haven't ordered." The old man smiled politely, almost painfully. "Of course, young lady, I didn't mean to bother anyone." He turned toward the door, and for a moment it looked like just another sad exit. Just another forgotten soul shuffled off the stage while the world moved on. But that's when it happened. 4 men stood up at once from a booth in the far corner. Their movements were coordinated, purposeful, and silent. The clatter of their chairs was the only sound in the room. Heads turned again. These weren't just any men, they had the unmistakable presence of warriors. Straight-backed, sharp-eyed, their bodies carried the rhythm of rigorous discipline. In plain clothes, they were still unmistakable. Navy SEALs. One of them stepped forward, his voice calm and commanding. "Excuse me, sir. Please, come sit with us." The old man stopped in his tracks, startled. No, it's fine. I don't want to cause any—" "You're not," the SEAL interrupted. "It would be our honor." The room froze. Even the kitchen fell silent, as if the sound itself was waiting for what came next. The SEALs walked over, gently guiding the old man back toward their table. The lead SEAL pulled out a chair, nodding with quiet reverence. "Please." The waitress hovered awkwardly nearby. "Should I, bring something?" One of the SEALs turned toward her. "Bring him anything he wants, and put it on our tab." As the old man sat down, something shifted. His posture straightened. His eyes, once clouded with quiet sadness, sparked faintly. He glanced around the booth, unsure whether to smile or cry. Then, as if a dam had been lifted, he spoke. "I trained in 42, Normandy, lost most of my unit on the beach. I was just 19. The SEALs listened. Not out of politeness, but out of genuine respect. Every sentence he shared was a chapter, every pause a moment of honor. The diner transformed from a casual lunch spot to a sacred space of living history. Patrons leaned in quietly from neighboring tables, waitresses paused mid-order. It was as if time slowed to make room for the story. He told them about frozen boots in the Ardennes, about nights spent praying he'd see sunrise, about the friend who died saving his life. He was 19 too, he said, his voice breaking. He never got to have this life. Never got to be old. One of the SEALs, the youngest, blinked hard and looked away for a moment. The manager, a tall man in a pressed white shirt, came storming over, clearly unsure of what was unfolding. "What's going on here?" he demanded, trying to assert control. One SEAL rose slowly, producing a wallet and flipping it open to reveal a military ID. "We're Navy SEALs, sir, and this man is a war hero. He's not leaving. Not today." The manager stared at the ID, then at the old man and took a cautious step back. "I didn't know." "You didn't ask," another SEAL said coldly, then turned his back. The tension deflated. The manager muttered something and retreated behind the counter. People went back to their meals, but eyes stayed on that table. The old man was no longer invisible. By the end of lunch, the old man was laughing, showing the SEALs the photo he'd carried, his old platoon, taken just days before the invasion. "That's me," he said, pointing with pride. And that was Jonesy. He had the loudest laugh. Drove the officers nuts. The SEALs leaned in, nodding. "You paved the way," one of them said. "Without men like you, we wouldn't be here." When the check came, the SEALs refused to let the old man touch it. "It's our turn to serve," they said. As they walked him out, the entire diner watched in reverent silence. The cook even stepped out from the kitchen, wiping his hands on his apron. "Thank you, sir," he said simply. At the door, the old man paused. He looked out into the parking lot, then back at the room full of strangers who had suddenly seen him. "I came here feeling invisible," he said softly, "but today I felt remembered." He saluted. The youngest seal returned it with crisp perfection. The other three placed hands on their hearts, and then he walked away, shoulders straighter, steps firmer, like he had finally been restored to the man he once was. So honor isn't just a medal or a moment in time. It's a legacy that lives on in the people who refuse to let it be forgotten. Respect isn't optional. It's earned, yes, but more than that, it should be remembered, protected, and passed down. Before we end this story, let us know in the comment, where are you watching from? If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and drop a karma in the comments below.